Have you ever heard of those habits that promise to change your life in just a few days? Well, get ready because I'm going to tell you about 7 habits that completely transformed my routine in just 1 week. Sounds exaggerated, right? But trust me, these habits are simple, practical, and can make a real difference in your life too. Stick around until the end, and I guarantee you'll want to put them all into practice. Today I'm going to share with you 4 habits that changed the way I live in just 1 week. No, these aren't the usual basic tips. These are practical steps that I implemented in my daily life that made an incredible difference. If you're looking to boost your productivity, take better care of your mental health, or just give your routine a little up, this video is for you. So grab a coffee, sit back, and let's discover what these habits can do for you. Habit 4, eating mindfully. This was one of the habits that challenged me the most at first, and I'm sure many people will relate. Our busy routines lead us to eat just about anything, in any way, without paying attention to what we're putting into our bodies. Eating became an automatic task, almost like an obligation we do on autopilot. But when I started paying attention to how I was eating, everything changed. Eating mindfully isn't about going on a radical diet or completely cutting out things you enjoy. The secret here is to be present during meals and make more intentional choices. In other words, pay attention to what you're eating, the quantity, the quality, and even the environment around you. The first step was to slow down. I realized that I was always eating in a rush at my computer, on my phone, or while watching something. The thing is, when you're distracted, it's easy to eat more than you need, and worse, you don't even enjoy the flavors. So the first change was to make meals a distraction-free moment. No phones, no social media, just me, my plate, and the moment. Once I started eating more slowly, I felt like I was enjoying each meal more. I savored every bite, paying attention to the textures and flavors. This helped me realize that often we eat out of impulse or anxiety without actually being hungry. When I began to focus more on my real hunger, I started choosing foods that truly satisfied me instead of anything quick just to fill the tank. Another interesting point was food choice. I've never been the healthiest person in the world, but eating mindfully made me pay more attention to what I was putting on my plate. This doesn't mean cutting out everything tasty, but rather balancing my choices, incorporating more veggies, quality proteins, and reducing ultra-processed foods made a huge difference in my energy and mood throughout the day. I didn't feel heavy or tired after eating, and my digestion improved a lot. A significant personal experience was when I decided to prepare a meal from scratch. Without rushing, I carefully chose the ingredients, took my time preparing everything, and when it came time to eat, every bite tasted even better. That's when I realized how enjoyable the eating experience can be when you're truly present. The act of cooking and savoring my food became something almost meditative. If you want to try eating mindfully, start slow. During your next meal, turn off your phone. Sit at the table and pay attention to every detail of what you're eating. Chew slowly, savor the flavors. Notice how your body reacts, and more importantly, allow yourself to enjoy the moment. Eating should be a pleasurable experience, and when you bring more intention to this habit, the impact on your life can be much greater than you think. Habit 3, journaling. Now journaling, look, I used to be the guy who thought it was a waste of time. Who has time to stop and write about their day when there's so much going on? But out of curiosity, I decided to give it a try, and that's when I was surprised. At first, I only wrote basic things, how my day went, what went well, and what didn't. But over time, I started to open up more, writing about my thoughts, fears, and insecurities. It felt like having a conversation with myself, and this brought a clarity I didn't expect. I realized that a lot of what stressed me out was out of my control, and that some things I could change if I wanted to. One night, for example, I was writing about a super stressful day at work. Just putting it on paper made the weight feel lighter. I managed to organize my thoughts, understand what had made me so anxious, and even find solutions to deal with the situation better in the future. That's when I understood the value of journaling. It's not just about venting. It's about getting to know yourself better. Additionally, I started writing down small victories from the day, no matter how minor, and also 3 things I was grateful for. This gratitude part changed my perspective on things. I stopped focusing so much on what I lacked and started appreciating what I already had. This brought an incredible positivity to my daily life. If you've never tried journaling, I encourage you to give it a shot. It doesn't have to be anything elaborate, just you and a notebook. Write whatever comes to mind, without worrying about being perfect, and see how it can change the way you view your days. Habit 2. Daily exercise. About the second habit, daily exercise, I'll be honest, I wasn't active at all. I always had an excuse ready. I'm tired. I don't have time. I'll start tomorrow. But one day, I decided it was time to stop making excuses and give it a shot. I committed to exercising, even if it was just for 20 minutes a day for a week. In the first few days, my body was sore. Yoga, light jogging, strength training. It felt like every muscle was complaining. But by the 4th day, something changed. I woke up with an energy I hadn't felt in a long time. It wasn't just physical, it was mental too. My mood improved. I was more relaxed, less stressed, and had an energy I thought only came from gallons of coffee. One specific day stood out. I was jogging. The sun was shining. The wind was on my face, and in that moment, I felt a freedom I hadn't experienced in years. It was just me, the road, and my thoughts. Daily exercise became a way for me to reconnect with myself, to clear my mind and prepare for the day. Plus, I noticed changes in my body. My posture improved. I felt stronger and even more confident. And all of this was in just 1 week. Here's a tip. You don't have to start with intense workouts or force yourself to do something you don't enjoy. Choose an activity that excites you. It could be a walk, a dance, anything that gets you moving. The important thing is to start and create the habit of moving every day. Believe me, it makes an incredible difference in your energy and even in your mental health. Habit 1. Waking up early. This was the first habit that brought a real change to my routine, and in my opinion, the most important one. And let me tell you, it wasn't easy. I've always been the type of person who kept hitting the snooze button. My bed was my comfort zone, and waking up early felt like a punishment, but I decided to give it a try. I started waking up at 5 a.m., and the first few days were terrible. I admit, I dragged myself out of bed, still half asleep, wondering if it was really worth it. But after the 3rd day, I started noticing a difference. Waking up early gave me time just for myself, without distractions, without rush. The morning silence was almost therapeutic. While the world was still asleep, I was there, enjoying every minute with that extra time. I managed to include things in my routine that I always thought I didn't have time for. A light jog in the morning, meditation, and even having breakfast calmly. Something that seemed impossible before. The result? My day started more organized, my mind felt clearer, and I felt I had control over my time. I wasn't racing against the clock anymore. There was one specific morning that stood out. I watched the sunrise from my balcony, something I had never taken the time to do. It was a simple moment, but it brought an enormous sense of peace. Waking up early became more than just a habit. It became a moment of gratitude and reflection. If you think it's hard, try starting slow. You don't need to jump straight to 5 a.m. Try waking up 15 minutes earlier and adjust from there. You might discover valuable time you didn't even know you had. Here's the challenge. Choose at least one of these habits and try to apply it to your life for a week. You can start with the simplest one or the one you find the hardest, but the idea is to start. Let me know in the comments which one you'll test first, or if you already practice any of these habits and how your experience has been. Oh, and don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so you don't miss any content. There's a lot more good advice coming your way, so stay tuned.